Shalom, shalom. All right, before I begin this lesson, I want to say call halal yamla Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rachak Kodash. All right, also double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that do rule and teach well. And as always, peace, love, many blessings unto the elect of Israel, all right, who is scattered around the four corners of the earth, that's given all diligence to make their calling of election short, turning back to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai with all sincerity, okay, and falling within their lot. And peace and blessings to the few sisters who watch and subscribe to the Great Millstone. All right, it's the brother Atazawam coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai with another lesson, and Lord willing, I do hope and pray that it's edifying, okay? This lesson is going to be entitled, Jake is going to lose all of their accomplishments, okay? Very soon, okay? Jake is going to lose all of their accomplishments very soon, okay? And I was just, scouring online, looking at, different black business owners and their accomplishments and, getting nominated for certain business awards and, being able to, open multiple locations. And, actually, man, that's cool that Jake is able to do that, and provide, certain things that they want to provide for their families. I'm not hating at all, but Jake don't have the grand scheme of things in their mind. They feel as if, being able to, be a successful entrepreneur in America is the end game, when in all actuality, that's just not the case. And a lot of Jakes attribute their success, to, themselves. Okay, they don't give all credit to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and the Most High for giving them, those blessings to be able to create these businesses. So they're going to lose their accomplishments real soon. Okay, due to hyperinflation, due to supply chain shortages. A lot of these black entrepreneurs are not going to be able to get their supplies that they need to operate their businesses. They're not going to be able to get, whatever chemicals, whatever. They're not going to be able to continue to pay the bills for the upkeep. They're not going to be able to pay their employees. And most importantly, they're not going to be able to satisfy the customer, because the customer themselves are going to be going through straits. Okay, so ain't nobody going to be trying to, go and purchase things from these black business owners. Because why? Because the customers are going to be in straight, which is going to lead to Jake being in hella debt. And ultimately, man, the end is come. Okay, so, I looked up this article right here. It says Metro Atlanta hosts 300,000 black business owners, and that number is only growing during the pandemic. Okay, it says according to census data, there was a 40% increase in black-owned businesses between February 2020 and August 2021, which is a hell of a growth percentage, man. Okay, for Jake. So Jake is starting to figure out how to, get in the business industry and be prosperous. Okay, which, like I said, hey, there's nothing wrong with owning a business, man. Okay, but Jake eggs is just in that one basket. Okay, they're not preparing their spirit. They're not preparing their households for prophecy. They're not getting ready for a great fallout. They're heaping their riches. They're heaping it upon their lusts. They're moving in a degenerate fashion. And Jake don't even understand, man, that this current system that they're attached to is getting ready to fall. Okay, it's getting ready to be a full-scale fallout here in Babylon the Great, and they're projecting it to intensify going into the late summer, early fall. Okay, so let's get some precepts. All right, this is the book of Isaiah 32 and 13, which we know if we read up, it goes into it goes into the women. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Okay, but I'm gonna jump down to verse 13. It says, upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars, yea, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous city. Yeah, so, man, you have certain cities, especially Metro Atlanta, which is a very sprawling Jake, community down here, so to speak. It's a lot of black business owners, Jake is living good, high off the hog. You know, pretty much this is a pretty much Jake dominated city. And you had these type of cities back in Rome. You know, you had these type of cities where so-called Jakes was actually, on top, doing their thing. And Metro Atlanta just so happens to be one of those cities here in modern day Rome. Okay. But that joyous city is going to be, it's going to come up thorns and briars, which represents, they're going to get their resources choked out. Okay. Jake is going to be left desolate. Their businesses are going to be left desolate. Their riches are going to be cast out into the streets. It's not going to mean anything because you have 7 to 8 operating businesses, and you have multiple LLCs and businesses licensed, and you've become a 6-figure business owner, then a multimillionaire. All that is cool, but it don't matter at the end of the day because we're going into a restructuring of the beast system, which is going to, indeed entail the RFID microchip. Okay. So it's not going to matter what you've accomplished, if you don't have that chip. Okay. It says, because the palaces shall be forsaken, the multitude of the city shall be left, the forts and towers shall be dens forever, a joy of wild asses, a pasture of flocks. Okay. So the Lord is getting ready to empty out, the arsenal of judgment upon Babylon the Great. And a lot of you so-called black business owners, you're going to lose your accomplishments, man. Okay, you're going to be brought back down to the ground because you fail to realize that, because you're prospering and you have certain benefits, okay, you're still under the curses. Okay. And the Lord is going to show Jake that he's still under the curses because a major part of the curses is being under Esau, the devil. Okay. And the Lord is going to actually, put the spirit on the left-hand side, put the spirit on Esau to raise up against Jake. You see what just happened over there in Buffalo, New York, where you had this sadistic Edomite jump out the car and just start wetting up Jake. Well, what you think is going to happen when all hell break loose, man? All right, it's going to be back to ground zero for our people, man. And this is why we go out to the highways and hedges and warn them of coming times. Okay, let's get some more scriptures. Okay, Isaiah chapter 6 and verse 11. It says, then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant. So if you have businesses that's stationed predominantly in the inner city, or maybe, in the sprawling suburban area to an inner city, these cities are going to be wasted, man. People are not going to be able to drive miles to go and support your business and shop with you and eat your food or buy your clothing or your product. All right. Or even if you provide a service, those services that you provide, whether it be lawn care, whether it be pressure washing, whether it be, doing roofs and gutters, painting, whatever your service is that you provide, that's not going to be a necessity in that day. The necessities is going to be food, water, and shelter and clothing. Okay. And if you don't have your How About Shema Shy in that day, then your business is not going to deliver you. Your money is not going to deliver you, man. Okay. So the cities are going to be wasted and without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate, because missiles are going to come upon the land of America, which is known as the place of unwalled villages, pursuant to Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. Okay. So missiles are going to be launched onto America very soon. But before they're launched onto America, it's going to be a great fallout. Okay. It's going to be a media block on what's going on in America, just like it was a media block on certain things that was going on in Venezuela, okay, and other impoverished parts of the world. It's going to be draconian laws and measures. You're going to see military troops, foreign troops patrolling mass majority of these major cities here in America. Resources are not going to be shipped to your local grocery store and gas stations. The gas is skyrocketing once again, okay. Your dollar is not going to be accepted. Which you go to certain stores and business places of business right now, You can't spend the dollar. They're not accepting cash. Only card or Apple Pay. Okay? Or Cash App. Some method of trade that uses a digital transition. Okay? So the cities are going to be wasted and left desolate. Okay? Let's go hit another one. Isaiah 7:23. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that every place shall be where there were 1,000 vines at 1,000 silverlings, it shall be even for briars and thorns. Meaning certain places that was very resourceful, that was very, like I said, sprawling and thriving. And, it was very, very, had a strong economy as in Atlanta, Georgia, or the D.C. area, the greater D.C. area. Certain parts of Virginia, that has a pretty good economy for Jake. Charlotte, North Carolina, the Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas, Chicago, all of the major cities where Jake is doing half decent for themselves. It's gonna be even for briars and thorns. Okay. And with thorns, man, thorns are known for choking out the fruit. Okay, let's say a fruit, let's say something tries to grow alongside of a thorn bush. That thorn bushes have to grow by themselves. Okay, you can't grow anything around the vicinity of a thorn bush a rose bush, because the thorns are going to choke out the fruit of it. Okay, and if you're gonna try to grow up with America is full of thorns and briars. And if you want to try to grow with Babylon the Great, then eventually the thorns are gonna choke out your fruit. And that's what's getting ready to happen to you black entrepreneurs out here. You're gonna lose all your accomplishments, which is your fruit. Okay, you're gonna lose all of it as America makes this very shifty transition. Okay, this is a very shifty transition, man. This is basically, we're going into a new country. This is about to be considered a new country. Okay, the way that Esau is breaking this thing down and dismantling this thing right before the eyes of the people, and everybody is worried about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Everybody is worried about gossip, celebrity news, but the real things that affect you and affect your household and affect your livelihood, nobody worries about those things. Okay, verse 24, with arrows and with bows shall men come thither, because all the land shall become thorns and briars. Meaning, man, people are going to be picking up arms. They're going to be looking for food, for a safe place, shelter. They're going to infringe upon their neighbors. Okay, that's getting ready to happen, and that's recorded of in the book of what? 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. Okay. Let's go to, let's see, Ezekiel. No, is it Jeremiah? Let me see. See if it's Jeremiah 7:34. Yeah, that's it. It says, Jeremiah 7:34, then will I cause to cease from the cities of Judah and from the streets of Jerusalem the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, for the land shall be desolate. Yeah, so all this playing around and all this joking, and everybody is posting their success and how much money they making, their new cars, and everything is centered around just being happy, being prosperous, and just glorying in the fatness that's being given to you in America. But a lot of you jakes don't even realize, man, the Lord about to strip the table, man. Okay, the Lord is about to flip the tables on Jake. All of your goods is going to become waste. Okay? It's going to become nothing. It's not going to matter if you have a pool in your backyard when all hell breaks loose. It's not going to matter because you have a 6-bedroom mini mansion, way out in Roswell, Georgia or something. Because you have a Lamborghini, what they call them, Urus. With the butterfly doors and the 4Giotto rims, and you have a home with a gate around it, with a code that you got. It is not going to matter. Okay? It's not going to matter when all hell break loose. The only thing that's going to matter is if you are in the good graces of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and do you have faith, and will he provide a standard for you for your work and for your faith? Okay? And if not, then none of these things are going to matter. Okay? Your accomplishments are going to be as dung. It's going to be as a piece of doo-doo. Okay? So the voice of all this Jake out here kicking it, getting ready for the 4th of July, getting ready for Memorial Day weekend. They ready to have a hot boy summer, a hot girl summer, trying to be litty in the city. All of that shit is not going to matter when this hard shift comes, man. Okay? And we seen that happen, a glimpse of it during the first stages of the pandemic. The very first few stages. Okay, the first couple months, Jake was getting hit up, but they was being stimulated because it was an experiment. Okay, so Jake was being, even though they was being experimented on, they were making sure that they were still stimulating the people so that they wouldn't break out into looting and riots. But now the next shift, they're gonna actually stimulate you with troops. Okay. Yeah, you can try to riot all you want to. You're going to meet the force of the UN troops. So we coming into very heavy times in the spirit, but the Lord is going to cause, I'm going to read that again. Jeremiah 7:34. Then will I cause to cease from the cities of Judah and from the streets of Jerusalem, going into both tribes, Judah representing the southern kingdom and Jerusalem representing the other tribes. So even throughout the islands in Central and South America, and everywhere else where Jake is scattered, hey, the Lord is going to bring hell. It says the voice of mirth, meaning happiness, the voice of gladness, and the voice of the bridegroom, the voice of the bride, for the land shall be desolate. All right, ain't going to be no parties and marriages and traveling to Tulum, Mexico, and Cancun and Colombia, and you just gloating in the fat of this earth. Man, it's going to be a full-scale fallout, and none of your resources is going to deliver you. Okay? Let me go back to the scriptures. Ezekiel chapter 6 and verse 6. It says, in all your dwelling places, the city shall be laid waste, and the high places desolate. Okay? What the high place represents all these different churches and places of worship. Kingdom Hall. It ain't gonna be nobody in them churches, man. Okay? It says that your altars may be laid waste and made desolate. Yeah, so ain't no Jesus Christ gonna raise up for you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, especially you Hispanic tribe, you Mexicans and Puerto Ricans, you Spanish tribes that